Most high achievers don't realize this, but the reason they can't relax isn't because of stress, it's safety. You've trained your nervous system to believe that motion equals survival. That slowing down is dangerous. And no matter how much you accomplish, how many systems you build, or how much money you make, your body still feels like the clock is ticking. For the last 20 years, I've worked with entrepreneurs, executives, and parents who live in constant motion. And what I've discovered is this: you're not addicted to progress, you're addicted to protection. And until you retrain your system to feel safe when it stops, you'll never feel like you're caught up, no matter how much you win. So if you've tried everything, therapy, meditation, medication, biohacking, supplements, and nothing actually changes that tension underneath, this video is going to explain why. Let's dive in. All right, so let's dive into the hidden trap of high performance and why a high performer can feel behind even when they're winning. And this is probably one of the most common places I find when I start working with clients, is working with people that have achieved so much. I mean, the list of accomplishments in their businesses, their careers, even their families, just unbelievable, the amount of accomplishment that of the people that I've worked with. And it just says it right here. No matter how much you accomplish, you feel behind, or you feel like something's still missing, or your body is telling you something else, right? You're just full of different symptoms and you can't make heads or tails of it. And so, and then there's just the constant trap of checking things off, 10 more appear. You finally take a weekend off and somehow you feel even more anxious. You tell yourself you just need to get ahead, but the finish line keeps moving. This is what I call chasing the horizon. If that's you, here's the truth no one ever told you. You don't have a productivity problem, you have a safety problem. And until you fix that, no strategy, no planner, no morning routine will ever give you peace. In this video, I'm going to unpack the real reason your brain won't let you rest and why doing more actually makes you feel less safe, and the 3 invisible forces that keep high achievers like you stuck in survival even when they're winning. So let's talk about the illusion of being behind. Every achiever I've ever worked with has said some version of this. I'm doing fine, but I feel like I'm behind. This feeling is not logical, it's neurological. And what do I mean by that? It means that your nervous system is talking to you and therefore me. It's your nervous system trying to protect you. Your brain's primary job is not to make you happy. It's to keep you safe. So important to understand this. We are survival machines, not thriving machines. And somewhere along the way, often early in life, you learn that safety equals movement. When you are productive, you get approval. When you achieved, you got love. When you slowed down, you got silence, tension, or disappointment. So your body formed a belief. If I keep moving, I'm safe. If I stop, I'm in danger. The belief is still running quietly, powerfully underneath everything you do. This is what leads to the nervous system loop. So let's talk about what's actually happening inside your body when this shows up. Let's think of your nervous system like a thermostat. It has 2 modes, safety and survival. When you're in safety, your body restores. This is when your digestion works, you think clearly, you sleep deeply. When you shift into survival mode, your body releases cortisol, stress hormones, your focus narrows, your muscles tighten, and your system prepares to act. For most high achievers, survival mode becomes home base. This becomes normal. This is why it becomes addicting, because it's the only time that your nervous system actually feels, this is the irony of it, it feels safe because it feels familiar and it feels normal, but it's a trap. It's never safe. It's the perception of safety. And so the kicker is when you finally slow down, your nervous system doesn't read that as rest, it reads it as a threat. And that's what you have to rewire. Because we don't want the stress state to be the thing that the nervous system perceives as how we keep ourselves safe. That is going to lead to all kinds of problems and dysfunctions. You've trained your body to associate calm with danger. So the moment you pause, your body starts whispering, something's wrong, you're falling behind, you should be doing more. And that's not a weakness, that's a wiring. You're not lazy for needing rest, you're conditioned to avoid it. And this is the hypervigilance paradox, I call it. And that term, hypervigilance, it basically means the chronic scanning of your environment for what could go wrong next. And so for most high performance, the vigilance is what built their success. So there's utility value in being hypervigilant, right? It's one of the reasons why so many high performers are successful is because of that vigilance, right? They're able to see things a lot of people aren't able to see, and that's a huge advantage. If it's the reason they can anticipate problems before they happen, spot patterns others miss, and keep an entire business or family running, right? Utility value here. It's a major superpower, but it's also their cage. This is one of the things I'll say to a lot of my clients is the asset that they have becomes their liability. They have to know how to use their superpower, when to pull that lever, when to have their foot on the gas, and use that sixth gear. But you can't live in the sixth gear because hypervigilance doesn't turn off when the meeting ends. It follows you into your relationships, your health, and your sleep. You start checking your inbox like it's an emergency broadcast system. I've been on calls with the high performers, and an email will come across or a text, and they will respond to, okay, I got to take this. I got to respond to that. And I always love when it happens because I'll ask them to pause. And I mean, if they really need to do it, I'll just let them do it and then talk about it afterwards. But I usually say to them, I say, okay, let's pretend you didn't answer that right now. Like, what would have happened? 9 times out of 10, the answer is nothing. Okay, but the nervous system, that wasn't the experience of the nervous system. The nervous system had to get that done in the moment, and the brain has the story of, well, it's just good just to get it done. I don't have to worry about it. And that's the lie. That's the nervous system directing your mind to come up with some narrative to justify how it's easier to just get it done now. And it's just not true. Okay? That's the whole hypervigilance. My nervous system relates to hypervigilance and just getting things done immediately as safe. And that's one of the signs that you're in this exact pattern. You mentally rehearse future problems that don't even exist. You replay conversations at 2 a.m. trying to find the one thing you said wrong. And the hardest part, you start believing that your vigilance is what makes you valuable, right? That's the safety trap. The same system that once kept you safe from chaos now creates the chaos when there's nothing to fix. And there's this invisible feedback loop. So I'm going to tell you a quick story here about a client that once told me, I feel like I'm running full speed, but not moving. He said, I can't see progress. Every time I solve one problem, 5 more appear. And here's what I told him. You don't lack progress, you lack feedback. High achievers thrive on feedback loops, metrics, milestones, and visible wins. But the deeper your work gets, the more strategic, the more creative, the more complex, and the slower those loops become. That's when exhaustion sets in, because the nervous system needs closure to feel safe. Too many open loops are a major threat. Without visible progress, your brain stays in an open loop, scanning for proof that you're okay. And since you can't find it externally, it starts searching internally. Did I forget something? Am I missing something? Something I should do more. That's why even when you're doing well, you feel behind. Your system isn't broken. It's waiting for closure. The real root, safety and self-trust. Here's the deeper layer almost nobody's talking about. Your brain doesn't crave control. It craves certainty. The certainty is just safety, but another name. When you're young, certainty came from performance. Do the right thing, say the right thing, you'll be okay. So you built a life around doing. But as an adult, control stops working as a safety strategy because life gets way too complicated to manage it all. There's an infinite amount of open loops and problems in the world. And if we have to solve for all those things, well, that is going to have our nervous system on high alert all the time. One of the strategies is you start trying harder, you double down on what used to work, you work longer hours, you tell yourself, this is one of the things I hear them all say, I'm just going to do this I just got to work late for like just a little while. And a little while turns into years. Take on more responsibility. I just need to take on this project for a little while, and then it'll be done. Yeah, that never comes. Chase the next milestone. There's always another milestone. But all it does is deepen the sense of instability because you're just opening more open loops. Because the safety you're chasing isn't external, it's internal trust. That's why it's a wild goose chase, because nothing in the outside world is going to fulfill this. Until you rebuild that trust, until your nervous system learns that you can stop without losing safety, you'll keep making tension for progress. You'll keep until you rebuild that trust, until your nervous system learns that you can stop without losing safety, you keep mistaking tension for progress. So what can you do? The truth is, really what most high achievers don't want to hear, your nervous system doesn't care about your goals. It cares about safety, right? A big star next to this because we need to make sure that one hits home. It doesn't care about your goals. It cares about your safety. Until it feels safe, it will keep you busy, anxious, and restless, no matter how many wins you collect. The real work isn't learning to do more. It's learning to feel safe when you're not doing. There's another one. Because peace isn't the absence of motion, it's the presence of safety. So here's what I want you to do. Leave a comment below and tell me your biggest struggle with stress or feeling behind. What's the hardest time for you to slow down? Evenings, weekends, after wins. I'll personally read and respond to each comment with specific insight on what's happening in your system. And if you're ready to go deeper and actually retrain your nervous system and make calm your new normal, you can book a free consult through the link in the description. Because the goal isn't just to get ahead. The goal is to feel safe where you are.